Alright, so I just turned 25 years old a couple of weeks ago, and don't worry, this is not like a video to do with my quarter life crisis or anything like that. Actually, it's more a video if you have already turned 25 or you're around that age, or maybe you've just passed the age. I don't know. But the point is, I want to make it very clear for something that I've personally learned over the last few years, especially after leaving systems. And what do I mean by systems? I mean being brought up, especially in the Western world, we go through, you know, matriculous systems of school. So, you start off with the age of like 6 years old. We then progress onto like, early stage school, middle school, high school, university, college, whatever. You're in systems, right? Your life is kind of planned out. You're meant to go from progression from one year to the next year, so on. And that's perfectly fine. It kind of allows you to not really think about anything external except for the work that's within that system. So obviously if it's school, it's to do with the exams, the curriculum, whatever. Even in university, it's the same thing. Maybe it's a little bit less. There's more responsibility in the sense that you have to make sure that you attend to these lectures. It's in your hand to make friends with people, to join communities, societies, whatnot. It's not necessarily as structured as school, but it allows you to be a bit more free flowing. But then everything changes once you graduate and you go into the working world, and this is something I've really realized. So I've been working for about now 2 years, right? I left university about 2 years ago now. I've been working. I'm 25 years old now. One thing is that no one will come to save you. No one is going to spoon feed you anymore. Like, it's not that kind of thing. Once you passed full-time education, once you pass these systems, it's up to you to make what you want of life. But again, it's actually the ability to take full accountability for your own actions that will allow you to, achieve the things you want to achieve. And to be honest with you, like, this is exactly it. So what I realize is that I'm working in a 9 to 5, and you can go and you can clock in at 9, do your work, do the bare minimum, whatever, come out and just keep recycling, and the month goes on and on and on and on. But you don't actually go anywhere. You might feel like you're cruising through it, but there's going to be a stage where, whether it'll be the next 5 years, 10 years, you're going to realize that, wow, I've just been going through this system mindlessly to the point where I'm like 40 years old now, and I haven't really progressed in certain things. And I might have had goals in the past, like getting my driver's license, getting this amount of money by this age, completing a bucket list of things I really wanted to do by this time. Whatever it is, you might have these goals, but having them versus actually actively seeking out to completing the challenges is a completely different story. So number one is to fully take accountability. And this, I'm not saying anything that's brand new here. I'm just speaking from a perspective of someone that's turned 25. To really get the most out of life, which I truly believe, is that you have to put the effort in. It's up to you. No one's going to come to you. You can't ever think that you deserve anything, because you create the reality that you're in. One of the core things that I specifically realize is that your own habits that you do day in, day out, all right, create a pattern. And it's extremely important to be fully mindful and present about these things, because you can easily be carried away with habits that you might not even think are affecting your life, because you've been doing it so often, it's ingrained into your lifestyle. Now it's just like, oh cool, like, this is just part of the routine, because your mind is great at automating things and making things very easily flow, to the point where if you're stacking these habits which aren't really benefiting you in a long run, or on the grand scheme of things, then you're just setting yourself up to go down a different path that you might not want to go down. What do I mean by that though? So for example, I realized for myself, at the time when I had social media, which is about nearly 3 years ago now, I was just mindlessly scrolling, and that was taking away time away from the things I really wanted to progress in, such as making content, such as really spending quality time with my friends, such as working on some of my side hustles, even putting in some hours into reading, into my job, trying to progress there. So I realized, because like I was spending so much time on social media, I was literally addicted to the scrolling. And it's not even just the scrolling, to be honest. It's the point where I'd close the app and then literally a second later I'd open it up. My mind just been programmed to keep on, like, just go back on the app automatically. So once I realized this, I just removed that from my life. I eliminated it, and what that's allowed me to have is more freedom and more free time, which allows me to invest into the things I want to invest in, like creating content, which has been really good so far, but also, you know, putting it into my work and trying to get promotions and all that stuff. That's helped as well. It's just small things like that. So also with video games, like I love video games. I'm not gonna lie, I really do. I love playing FIFA, Fortnite, whatever. But I had to stop that. And do you know what? Like, you might think that, you know, are you eliminating fun? It's not the eliminating of fun necessarily. It's more so I realized where I want to actually invest my time in, because deep down, I'm not gonna lie, deep down with you, like my true fulfillment comes from like a purpose, right? For me, it's all about content creation. I just love doing it, and I wasn't maybe maximizing it as before. But when I realized that now I'm 25, I need to put in the hours. If I want to make something out of it, I need to invest my time and energy, because I might not get the return now. It's a form of delayed gratification. Down the line, I will see opportunities arise, but it all starts from now, in the present moment. And in order to do that, I had to stop things that really were taking time away from that goal, such as video games and social media, whatever. Just identify these things. Like, it doesn't have to be those specific things. You might not have a problem with video games or social media, but you might have something else. You're probably addicted to sugar or something crazy, right? I don't know. But identify these things. And then this allows you to invest that free time that you're going to realize that, wow, me by not really focusing or thinking or doing that anymore allows me to put my time and effort and energy into other places in my life. And honestly, that's probably the biggest game changer. And no one is going to save you. I'm going to be honest with you, no one is going to save you. Your friends will love you, your family will love you, but they will not spoon feed you into the success you want. It's literally in your hands. And honestly, if you don't take this now and act with full urgency, then 5, 10 years down the line, you're going to think back and you're going to ask yourself, why didn't I just do that then? And that's the worst place to be. Treat yourself nicely and save yourself.